Lucas worked the night shift as a technician at an old mountain relay station, a concrete tower deep in the hills that hadn't been upgraded since the 80s. No Wi-Fi, no people, just a crackling radio room, 2 stories of flickering lights, and a backup generator that groaned every time it kicked on. He didn't mind the isolation. After all, the job was simple: check the signal strength, run diagnostics, and call the regional office once an hour to confirm it was still active. But on one Friday night in October, the tower gave him something different. At 12:06 a.m., the base radio blinked green even though he hadn't touched it. Then a distorted voice came through, garbled and full of static. He tried to call it back, but no one responded. The weird part? The signal was local, not routed through any station, just ... Nearby, curious, Lucas checked the scanner. A transmission was being sent out every minute on a loop. Same code, same frequency. The message was buried beneath white noise, but when he slowed the speed, it almost sounded like breathing. He chalked it up to interference, logged the anomaly, and tried to focus. But then the tower's interior lights flickered. That never happened. He walked downstairs, opened the fuse panel. Everything was fine. But when he looked up at the hallway camera monitor, he froze. It showed someone standing at the outer fence. A man, still, facing the camera, just watching. Lucas grabbed his flashlight and rushed up to the lookout deck, scanning the yard. No one there. The snow hadn't been disturbed. He checked the camera feed again. The figure was gone. Now the message on the radio had changed. A different loop, faster, deeper, more urgent. He boosted the gain and caught a single whisper, "Turn around." Lucas spun, heart hammering, but nothing was there. He turned the radio off, unplugged it, but the voice kept coming, now from a speaker that wasn't even connected. It said the same thing again, "Turn around." He ran back to the console. Everything on the main screen had frozen, even the clock. He tapped at the keyboard and a new window opened on its own. A live feed from a camera, showing the inside of the tower. Except it wasn't from any angle he recognized. The footage was showing him standing there in real time from somewhere behind the wall. The view slowly zoomed in on the back of his head. Lucas reached out to kill the feed, but the power surged. Every light blew out, and the signal tower was plunged into darkness. He grabbed his emergency flashlight and started back down toward the exit, but the lower hallway felt wrong. Longer somehow. Like the stairs led further than before. The walls looked stretched, as if the concrete had softened and sagged. His footsteps echoed weirdly. Then he heard it, that voice again, now closer, now behind him, repeating not words this time, but soft clicks, almost like someone whispering his name with their teeth together. He started to run, but the stairwell behind him had vanished. In its place was a smooth, endless hallway that pulsed faint red with every click. It was leading him downward, and every step he took made it harder to breathe. Eventually, he came to a door. It wasn't metal like the others. This one was wood, stained black, with a radio dial embedded in the center. As he stepped forward, it began to turn. Not by touch, on its own. Static buzzed through the seams. The voice whispered again, "You're the signal now." He opened the door, and what was behind it was not a room. It was just void. A black space filled with cables and wires and voices, dozens of voices, all overlapping and layered, all calling out versions of his name in different tones. He tried to back away, but a hand reached out of the dark, made of tangled wires and teeth, and touched his shoulder. The next morning, the backup tech arrived to relieve Lucas. The tower was empty. All lights were on, systems normal. The only thing out of place was the camera feed. One was stuck on a single frozen frame, the hallway. In it, someone stood facing away from the camera, staring at the wall like they were listening. Lucas was never found. But the signal still broadcasts once a night, always at 12:06 a.m., always ending in the same phrase. You're the signal now.